struggle for a new national minimum wage seems to be a big topic everywhere, on the pages of newspapers, television and radio stations. On this week's episode of the program, we will be discussing about the several developments that's happened over the few weeks, especially the Nigerian Governors Forum insisting that they can pay the proposed figure of 30,000 naira. I am Sharon Ijason, but first let's take the news. We will be right back.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization has recommended that member countries allocate 26% of their budget to education to enable them adequately cater for rising education needs. Nigeria, as a member country of UNESCO, has continued to fall short of this recommendation, with its allocations to education constantly dropping. The 2018 budget was the lowest allocation to education in the past 4 years, despite the increase in the budgets. These students described the continuous fall in allocation to education as saddening. They took to the streets with different placards to press home their demands.
We are tired of having the educational sector underfunded. Imagine a country that is funding the education with less than 10%. Specifically, in 2017 budget, it was funded with 7.4%. We are here to say to government at all levels, both state and federal governments, that enough is enough. And we are saying that they should fund the educational sector with nothing less than 26% as recommended by UNESCO.
And proper funding should be given to educational sector in Nigeria. Enough of 7% allocation to education.
The call on the government to adhere to the call of ASU to revitalize the educational institutions, as it is not enough to declare a state of emergency in the sector without taking positive steps.
Most of our campuses, in fairness, are now glorified buildings because even hostels to stay doesn't exist. Classrooms, some of the classrooms, students stand up to listen to lectures, not even a place to write from. No country can move forward like that. It is not possible to have a country. Even the psyche of the student that reads in such an environment is already distorted.
If our leaders mean well for themselves and the future of this country, they must invest in education. We are not saying they should be giving us money. Is that what we are saying? No! We are only saying they should fund the educational sector. Yes. They should make sure that our institutions are viable.
In November 2017, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari set up a tripartite committee to come up with a new national minimum wage. After several deliberations and a warning strike in September this year, organized labor, government, and the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association agreed on 30,000 naira. Days later, the Nigeria Governors Forum announced that they can only afford to pay 22,500 naira, which is about $62.
Our position must not just reflect a figure, but a sustainable strategy based on the ability and capacity to pay, as well as reflective of all developmental needs in each state.
With this development, I went in search of a worker who earns between 22,500 and 35,000 naira to see what the lifestyle of such worker is. Favor Anyanwu is a casual worker at a construction company situated in Lagos suburb. She tells me she earns 35,000 naira monthly, but it's not sufficient for her. Just before the interview, Favor Anyanwu pleaded that we keep her face out of the picture as much as possible. Can you tell me how much you earn every month as a Nigerian worker?
I'm earning 35,000 naira.
And is that sufficient for you?
It's not sufficient for me.
So if you earn 35,000 naira and you are saying it's not sufficient for you on a monthly basis, can you tell me, are you married? Do you have children?
I'm married. I have children. I have 3 children. And I'm married. And secondly, why the 35,000 is not sufficient for me is transport and my feeding.
Okay, so can you tell me how much you spend on transport and feeding?
My daily transport is 400 naira times 30 days. That is 12,000 naira. And I'm feeding myself 300 naira. That is 700 naira. Out of this.
A mother of 3, who is also the breadwinner of the family, tells me her job entails lots of risk and is not qualified to access healthcare and more. How safe has it been for you so far?
There's no safety there. No safety there. Accident happen. Machine used to cut. Even for some department there that guests used to collapse because of the fire. And at the end of the day, they can use their salary to pay the hospital bill. If you're not able to take time after paying, you will not come back. You're not supposed to be like that. You don't take care who is working for you. And it's not outside that you want to take care of. But I'm happy to be a Nigeria worker. But in that situation, in that incident and everything that is, I'm not happy over it. Because they're supposed to have their own clinic that will be take care of whatever coming out about us.
Favor Anyanwu tells me how much she would like to earn, as she can't afford an accommodation, but currently is cutting with a family member.
What I need from Nigeria, from our government, it should help us. At least 70-75 is not too much. After taking away transport and taking away your feeding, you can see have as much to assist yourself.
According to the Constitution, the minimum wage is due for a review as the current 18,000 naira benchmark as the least a worker can earn in Nigeria expired in 2016. The Minimum Wage Act prescribed a 5-year cycle of review. Between 2016 and 2018, pump price of petroleum products increased by 85% and the devaluation of the naira by 100%. Thus, the cost of living and inflation increased. According to a data released by the Nigerian Labour Congress, here is a graphics of the figure 21 states presented during negotiation. The first National Minimum Wage Act of 1981 prescribes a minimum wage of 125 naira per month by President Shehu Shagari and Hassan Sumonu-led Labour Executive. This was revised in 1991 to 250 naira per month, negotiated by late Pascal Bafayu-led NLC with Adams Oshiomhole as deputy. Another round of negotiation opened in 1990. During the administration of General Abdulsalam Abubakar, the minimum wage was moved to 3,000 naira. The national minimum wage was revised again in 2001 to 5,500 per month for state workers and 7,500 for federal workers and oil-producing states. There were unique features to this deal. Provisions were made that the following year in 2002, there would be a 15% increase across board and a 25% increase in 2003. These, however, were not fulfilled. The current 18,000 naira minimum wage due for a review since 2015 was negotiated under NLC President Abdul Wahid Umar. From my findings, after interacting with Favor Anyanwu, she spends 50,000 naira on the average monthly, but earns 35,000 naira. She is hopeful that the president will assent to a living wage for workers.